Whew. This episode was exhausting. Oh my god. This was the episode where the confession happened. Zhao Yun finally admitted to his brother that he has feelings for him, that he's had feelings for him, and obviously it did not turn out well. Of course, Zhao Yun couldn't have picked the worst timing. I mean, he just had to do it on one of his brother's biggest days of his career. But luckily, the whole thing blew up in the basement rather than in front of their colleagues and the investors. Imagine, this could have been a lot worse. So Zhao Yun gets super lit at his brother's company party, especially after seeing his brother and the CEO of Beauty Live. I mean, of course she'd be there. After all, she's a business partner and a major investor of his brother's startup company. So yeah, she's gonna be there. I mean, granted, she's been a fan of his brother for quite some time, and it's not a secret that she likes him, but based on what happened in this episode, Wei Qian has already told her that he can't go there with her. They both agreed to just strictly be business partners and nothing beyond that. But of course, Zhao Yun didn't see this interaction. So his mind is already going every which way, thinking of the worst, that, you know, he's gonna lose his brother to this girl. But still, you know, I just didn't think it was the right time or the right place for Zhao Yun to be doing all of that. I can't overstress this enough. This could have been a lot worse. He could have made a bigger mess that would have negatively impacted this partnership between Beauty Live and his brother's startup company. Luckily, Sun Pang had sensed Zhao Yun's volatility and redirected Feng and ultimately avoided an even bigger disaster. Because aside from the fact that he was physically sick, he was running a fever, he was already feeling really jealous of Feng because of what he's seeing, what she's been giving him lately, and what he's been hearing from people around him, how much they like to see Feng and Wei Qian together. All of those things were already making Zhao Yun go crazy. So it didn't take much for him from that point on to just lose it. I mean, I understand where Zhao Yun is coming from and why he might be feeling this way. I mean, after all, he's had feelings for Wei Qian for such a long time. He's practically revolved his life around him and took really good care of him, only for this new girl, at least for him, she's a new girl, he's never met her before, only for this new girl to come into this picture and could potentially snatch him away from him. So I totally get why he might be feeling that way. I just didn't think it was the right time or place to have this discussion. I know that Zhao Yun is still relatively young and probably felt threatened by Feng, but he's also mature enough to understand what this new partnership could mean to not only Wei Qian but also to everyone who is working for this startup company, HOT. Zhao Yun is a very smart guy. He understands what this new partnership would mean to the overall growth and the survival of this company. I mean, after all, he witnessed the early stages of this company, the inception of this company. He saw how much they've all struggled to get this company up and running, and he even volunteered himself to take on a task, a major task at that, in order to help out this company and his brother. So he knows what this means. He understands the implications and the magnitude of this newly formed partnership between Beauty Live and HOT. So the fact that he has all of that understanding, or at least I would hope so, and he still did what he did, his actions just came across as very selfish and straight up reckless. But I'm glad that Zhao Yun still had it in him to finally remove himself from the situation and move to the basement where he wouldn't be able to hear people saying how cute Wei Qian and Feng look together and this and that. So I'm glad that he excused himself and went to the basement. And that's when the confessional scene finally happened. Wei Qian finally heard straight from his brother's mouth that he likes him. But in a way, I don't think this was much of a surprise for Wei Qian because it's already been brought up to him in the past by Sun Pang that his brother might have feelings for him. But of course, you know, he didn't want to believe it. He was in denial. But now he's finally heard it straight from the source, from his brother, that his brother likes him. How would you even begin to respond to that? So the way Wei Qian decided to deal with Zhao Yun following the confession was to not deal with Zhao Yun. So he completely avoided him. He spent days in the office, ignoring his calls, just creating this space between them while he thought of ways to deal with Zhao Yun, because he understands that he can't continue to hide or avoid Zhao Yun. He's gonna have to come home and deal with him eventually. And meanwhile, while this is happening between the brothers, Sun Pang acted as the messenger, the middleman, and the mediator. This must have been a very tough position to be finding yourself in, especially when you consider what's been happening between the brothers. And you can tell that Sun Pang genuinely cares about this family. I mean, after all, he considers this family as his own too. I really commend Sun Pang for simply just being present and being with the family even during times like these, you know, because he could have been just like, peace, I'm out. This is you guys' issue. I don't want to have anything to do with it. But the fact that he really stuck around, and not only did he stick around, but also made sure to spend time with their sister, Wei Qian, and Zhao Yun. He's really acting like the oldest brother of the family. And I really appreciate this character for being such a huge support for the family, especially during times like these. And I thought it was so fascinating to see how much Zhao Yun has been consumed by his attraction to his brother. He just kept asking why he couldn't like his brother. Even after Sun Pang tried to explain to him why he couldn't like his brother, but Zhao Yun just didn't seem to understand why that wasn't possible. Sun Pang was like, you could like anybody else on this planet, just not Wei Qian. Even when Sun Pang tried to reframe the question, probably in an attempt to help Zhao Yun see the situation from a different vantage point or different point of view maybe, he asked him, alright, what is right with this? But Zhao Yun just remained firm and focused and undeterred, and even threw it back at him and said, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with me liking Wei Qian? What is wrong with me liking my brother? I don't understand. And you could just tell that Sun Pang was getting really frustrated because he's realizing that there's no amount of explanation, there's no amount of reframing that would change Zhao Yun's position and the way he feels towards Wei Qian. So he was just like, you know what? Never mind, forget it. Like, this conversation isn't going anywhere. And by the way, your brother wants you out ASAP. So here's your ticket, here's your money. Pick wherever school you want to go to, you gotta go. Obviously, Zhao Yun felt really hurt by that, but I think he realized why his brother was doing that. So he was just like, okay, he wants me out ASAP then, so I'm gonna go. I felt really bad for their little sister though, because majority of the details had been kept from her. So she's over here just kind of left at home, confused as to what is happening. There's a lot of information she doesn't know about what happened between her brothers, so obviously her attempt for them to talk was unsuccessful. It looks like Zhao Yun is gonna be studying abroad. I don't know how long he'll be gone for, but I know that this is going to feel like torture for him, being really far away from Wei Qian. So I wonder how he's gonna be dealing with that. And I also wonder how Wei Qian is going to feel while Zhao Yun is away from him. And I know that this was not an easy decision to make for Wei Qian. I'm sure this is not the way he envisioned to send off his brother to study abroad. But considering what happened, he just had to do what he had to do. And that last part got me really emotional when they showed a little flashback and a recap of their relationship and how they initially met. It made me really sad because Wei Qian really took in this kid that he really didn't want to have anything to do with initially, but he felt bad for him. And they eventually took him in, provided shelter for him, protected him, loved him, and treated him like his own brother. Only for their relationship to go from that to where it is now. It's sad. So I know this is not an easy thing to be going through, but how else could have Wei Qian handled this though? I don't even know. How would you handle it? But I'm very interested to find out when Wei Qian is going to start developing feelings for Zhao Yun, especially when you consider everything that's just happened. Or will he not develop feelings for him? Is that kind of a dumb question? I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how they're all going to recover from this. This has been a very emotional and exhausting episode. I really don't know, and I know I say this all the time, but episode 7, I don't even know what's going to happen. Honestly, the preview didn't really give me enough information to kind of gauge what to expect. It was a very brief phone call between the brothers, and that's it. I guess I'll just wait and see. But anyway, that is it for us today. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. Until then, I will see you later.